What's cracking? What's rolling, YouTube? It's your low Phantom Low, aka Soap the Loaster, and just keeping it 3100.
I see you folks clicking up, looking like you tough, acting like you banging now, nigga. Walk around with that flag out your pocket until the real come and ask what you claiming now, nigga. 1, 2, 3, oh shots from a loose cannon and it's blazing through your torso, nigga. 1, 2, 3, oh shots from a loose cannon and it's blazing through your doors now, nigga.
Yeah, nigga, that locust back. Come to your section, them shells rat-a-tat-tat. Cause what you banging, what you claim, you know what's up. If a person know, got that dagger exposing your fucking guts. Yeah, that blue been in me. Free my big cousin, cuz like me. Our gang's different, but we both bleed blue. Heart pump, no Kool-Aid, them shots come through. I stay true blue, been true to that blue. Been true to the cause, so what about you?
For all those new tuning into the channel, please like, comment, subscribe. For everybody else, you know what time it is. Let's get into it. Today's topic: police gangs. Yeah? I ain't stuttered. You heard it correctly. Police gangs. Gangs of police. Now, you have your Crip gangs. You have your Blood gang. You have your Pyro gangs. You have your folk gangs, you know, People Nation gangs, Sereno gangs, Nathaniel gangs, MS gangs, you know what I'm saying, etc., etc. You have your Confederacy, you have your neo-Nazis and all that shit, skinheads and all of them, you know what I'm saying, hate groups and shit. But now, what if I tell you there was a gang of people you wouldn't think would be committing criminal activity, but actually behind closed doors, they are. And they're supposed to be the people that's supposed to supposedly protect and serve. That's right. The police department. So I watched these videos, right? And you know, it's crazy because prior to that, I always wonder why they would always make movies of police conducting themselves as gang members, doing the same things that we do, but the way they go about it, they go like above and beyond, and the way they make it seem like is like as if street gang members did it the whole time it was them. Now, this is in the movies now. But it turns out there's some reality to that. In LA, that is actually a real thing. Street kings, hell, fucking street night. You know what I'm saying? I can name a couple more, but yeah, real shit. So why are there police gangs? Well, to my understanding, from research, the number one reason really has to do with their pension, their pay. They feel like they're not getting paid enough. So, you know, corruption happens. Which, you know, you have your corrupted police, but now you have corrupted police that made their gangs to do whatever they can so that way they can make their mark. Hell, they even made what's that one movie called? Straight Outta Brooklyn or something like that? Or Brooklyn's Finest? Yeah, Brooklyn's Finest. Another perfect example. And for all you guys that love to play video games, I know you guys will think of Grand Theft Auto San Andreas. Yeah, you know, Tenpenny and them. There you go. These are corrupted policemen that created their gangs and all that for that pension, etc., etc. That's what it all boils down to, the money. Now, initiations. I was listening to their initiations. Not gonna lie. Some of their initiations is very similar to street criminal organizations. Some. It depends. But then you have some of their initiations that is just mind-blowing to me. I'm just like, the fuck? Like, it's some shit I never heard of, and it's very, to be honest with you, it's very inhumane. Very sick. Talk about brutal. But yet, we're labeled as, and we're seen as the worst motherfuckers on this earth and all that shit. You know what I'm saying? And we're looked up as the menaces to society and all this shit. You know what I'm saying? But you guys can't even point the finger at the motherfuckers that's supposedly, by law, supposed to protect and serve your asses. For all you police-loving motherfuckers out there. Yep, it's time to shine the light on these motherfuckers and shit. I know it hurts. But guess what? We keeping it 3100. So therefore, we gotta expose the truth. Yes, some of the motherfuckers that you be looking up to and all that shit are doing, if not the same thing, they're doing worse than what we do in the fucking street. Yeah. Motives? Some of them is racial. Some of them is just because they're just mad and ain't got nothing else better to do. And, yeah, it's a very twisted, sick world and all that shit. But that's just the way it is. Now, does all this surprise me? No. Not all of it. And there was a part in one of the videos where they were talking about in small towns, in small white towns, the white kids be scared as hell of the police. But we talking small white towns now. So, therefore, yeah, in small towns, they there too. And actually, it actually dawned in my head. I had to ask myself after watching these videos, I wonder if there's police gangs in small towns and all that shit. Or country towns, you know? And from what I just heard, and especially from a homie of mine, a reliable source, I ain't gonna say much, but he's a, blood homie of mine, bounty hunters, you know what I'm saying? That's all I'm gonna say. Yeah, there's police gangs in small towns and country towns. Yeah. But the thing is, are they as brutal as the ones in LA? No. But are they dirty? Hell the fuck yeah. Hell yeah. They all have their little codes and all that shit. You know what I'm saying? I ain't gonna say much and all that, but let's just say they have, just like we do, they have their own little language and all that shit, their own little lingo and all that. You know what I'm saying? That only their kind would understand and all that shit, especially when, you know what I'm saying, different police individuals are in a clique or a set. Like I said, sets, those are the gangs. And then for Hispanics, the clica, those are the gangs. So, for the police, the cliques, the police cliques, those are the gangs. But yeah, and it gets you wondering. Freddie Gray, George Floyd, were they killed by regular police officers? Or were they killed by corrupted police officers? Or were they killed by police officers that were members of a police gang? It gets you wondering now. Because here are guys that swore an oath, like we all swore an oath, but their oath was to, as we say, or should I say as they say, as everybody knows them, protect and serve the community. And you would think that that's what they're doing until they do some very unexpected, grimy, dirty, foul shit. But now this adds two and two together with one case that took place in 92. 1992 in LA during the Crips and Bloods truce. A 5-tray OG named Capone. And I recommend you guys to watch Bastards of the Party. It's a really good documentary. Real raw. Real truthful. But an OG from 5-tray Avalon. He a gangster crip named Capone. He was talking about a situation where his car was impounded by the police during the truce. And he thought that the car went straight to the impound lot. But word got back to him is that the police did a drive-by out of his car in Rolling 30 Bloodstone Piru Hood on the east side. And how he got that word was during the truce, the Rolling 30 Bloodstone Pirus rolled up on Capone and told him about that shit. About the police using his car to do a drive-by at their hood. And this was during the truce now. But there were many other situations that happened during the truce committed by the police gangs and all that. Because what they were trying to do was sabotage the truce. But what they didn't understand was the truce was already fragile as it is, because after you've been in war for so long, one, how can you forgive someone that took someone away from you? You know? Now, us Crips, like I said, us Crips beef with each other and war with each other more than anybody else. You know what I'm saying? Majority of us, depending on the set. And then you have blood rivalries. Sometimes it gets to the killing, sometimes it don't. But they not as bad as us. Like us, we are. But we trying to get it together though these days. But you know, certain sets it's kind of hard. And certain individuals as well. I can take accountability of that myself when it comes to Bloods and all that, majority of them and all that. But that's another story. Anyway. The truce was already very fragile. It's like even the slightest touch can make it fall apart. Some say the truce lasted for a few months. Others said a few years. But as Barefoot Pookie said, may he rest in peace, truces between the Crips and Bloods, they don't last too long. It's always something. But the police was acting out on that too. Like I said, they was trying to sabotage it, but it was already fragile. So let me ask you this. With the proof in the links below, because I'm just reacting, but with the proof right there, do you guys still trust all the police? Or maybe I should say it like this. Do you guys trust your trustworthy police department fully? Depending on where you are, that is. Because, you know, in some cities and some states, you know, it's a history of corruption on it to where they don't, like, you know, it's an automatic, no, we don't trust them. But I'm talking about where people love and praise the police. Are you guys sure you guys are safe under their protection? Are you sure? just saying this, especially for you civilian motherfuckers and shit. You know what I'm saying? You guys want to talk about Crips and Bloods, bad and all that shit. You know what I'm saying? Saying we ain't doing what we were formed to do and all that shit. You know what I'm saying? Which is protecting our community and our people and all that stuff. You know what I'm saying? How about you talk that shit to the police? Say that same shit to the police. You know what I'm saying? Now, don't get me wrong. There are good policemen out there. Police women, policemen. You know what I'm saying? There are good police. Just like there are good Crips and just like there are good Bloods and etc. etc. Okay? But it's just the balance of life. You have the good and you have the bad. It's just a balance. But at the same time, though, you guys really need to stop being picky and choosing and all that shit and say, oh, these guys are good, but these guys are bad. This, that, and third and all that shit. You know what I'm saying? And what I mean by that is thinking that all the police is good and all that shit and they're all the good guys. And then all of us, you know what I'm saying, are the bad guys. Because in reality it's actually a balance. There's good and bad with them and there's good and bad with us. That's the truth. It is what it is. And the scary part is, when it comes to us Crips, nowadays, you know, the color thing is not really a big issue and all that like it was back in the 90s and 80s. Me personally, I wear my blue and all that shit, you know what I'm saying? That's just me. I'm old school, all right? But mainly nowadays, we go off by the hats that we wear, you know what I'm saying, and our lingo. And same thing with the Bloods and Pirus and all that, you know. But the scary thing about the police is you do not know which ones are the good ones and which ones are involved with these police gangs. Really, the only way you could tell is if they have specific tattoos. And you have to be real close, or you have to know what you're looking for in order to tell, oh, this police is a member of a gang, of a police gang. You know? Which is in the videos too. That's the only way, really. One of the only ways, at least. But yeah, they, for all you civilians out there, yeah, they're scary. They are scary. But it doesn't surprise me. Now, the nature of them, yeah, it does. It surprises me. But, I mean, it's expected. You know, it's not like, it's not something where I would be like, oh my God. But their initiations, yeah. But just the fact that there's even police gangs and what they do and all that. No. After a certain amount of time and all, and after certain events and all that, you just start putting two and two together and all that. And that really just confirms it right there. And will get you wondering if they're anywhere else besides just LA and Chicago and Baltimore and New York. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, just like, you know what I'm saying? Just like us, they're everywhere. They're in your big cities. They're in your urban suburban areas. They're in your small country towns and all that. You know what I'm saying? Like I said before, really, this world is really just one big, well, I should say this country is just one big ass melting pot of gangs, for real. Organizations and shit. Philosophical identities, all that. You have your police, you have your Crips, you have your Bloods, you have your Pirus, you have your folks, you have your Vice Lords, you have your Blackstones, you have your Maras, You have your North Daniels, Serranios, North Siders, South Siders, neo-Nazis, Confederacies, fucking, you name it. And now we have police. I mean, we've been at police, but I'm talking about when it comes to the other side of shit. The bad side, as they call it. The criminal element. Yeah. But you know, just gotta keep it 3100. That's just the way it is. And there's probably more cases that people do not know about. But you know why they're not being exposed to the public and all that, as they should? Because guess who's handling them? That's why they have a thing called internal affairs. And I'm just going to leave it like that. With that being said, keep your thumbs up, C's high. You know what I'm saying? And next time you come across a police officer, just watch yourself. Look out for yourself. And protect yourself.
You don't know now what said I claim. I claim 3-0. You ask what I bang? I bang 3-0 with an A in the middle. Avenues, cuz, but I ain't with the riddles. Keeps it 3100, but people not like me. I see the weird shit going on repeatedly. But I'm a go-getter, I goes and gets. Never a lazy ass nigga, ambitious with my bets. Cross the line, pay the debt. Even with your life, pay the debt. Gotta pay the toll, that's how life rolls. I seen too many plays solid, but they always fold. Had a beating heart, froze that shit cold. Don't give a fuck, I'm in that fucking mode. Seen one side, but now it's the other side. One slick mouth, that life of yours, bye bye.